Today, we're breaking down Section 13 of the Nigerian Labour Act, which is a section that tells us exactly how long people should work, when rest becomes mandatory, and what employers must do when rest is disrupted. These are not just legal points, they are occupational health controls that directly affect fatigue, safety, and productivity in the workplace. As you can remember in my previous videos, I've discussed how fatigue can be and is a serious hazard. So when people work long hours without proper breaks or weekly recovery time, we see more errors, slower reactions, rising stress levels, and increased risk of illness. Section 13 exists to protect workers from this and to guide managers and HR on how to design healthy, lawful work schedules. So one of the laws in that section states that where a worker is at work for 6 hours or more a day, his work shall be interrupted by allowing one or more suitably spaced rest intervals of not less than 1 hour on the aggregate. What this simply means is that after 6 hours of work, the law recognizes that the brain needs recovery. So a minimum of 1 hour break is a safety measure to help reduce mistakes, prevent fatigue from accumulating. And these breaks must be planned, structured, and not left to chance. This same section also states that in every period of 7 days, a worker shall be entitled to 1 day of rest, which shall not be less than 24 consecutive hours. Again, this means that in 1 week, or at least in a 1 week period, there must be a full day of uninterrupted rest. It helps the body reset, restore sleep patterns, and prevent long-term burnouts. So when staff consistently lose this day of rest, their health and performance decline, even if they appear to be coping. Remember in my previous episode, I discussed something called presenteeism, which is simply when staff are present at work, but they're not performing to their optimal. And when the operations get busy, the Act still gives very clear instructions. So if this weekly period is reduced, corresponding time off should be allowed as soon as possible and not later than 14 days thereafter, or the wages for the overtime rate shall be paid in lieu thereof. Again, from a health standpoint, what this simply means is that compensation must be given for overtimes. And if the staff has had to work, because we understand that there are times where at work you cannot, have that break within a week, the law states that after 14 days, that break should be taken and compensation should be given. Compensation is just money, so it doesn't quite erase the fatigue that, the worker is going to feel. So they actually need that rest to recover both physically and mentally. The law also connects daily and weekly rest to long-term recovery through annual leave. It states that every worker shall be entitled after 12 months consecutive service to a holiday with full pay of at least 6 working days. So the law recognizes that annual leave is not a luxury. It's a protective measure against long-term stress, sleep disruption, and burnout. So what's the takeaway for the HRs and the managers from this? First, define working hours clearly. Second, schedule structured breaks for anyone working 6 hours or more. Protect the weekly 24-hour rest period. And if this rest is interrupted, plan compensatory time off within 14 days. We also should give special attention to those that we call high-risk groups, which are drivers, factory workers, security staff, and shift workers, because fatigue in these roles can quickly become a safety incident. So Section 13 is more than just a compliance requirement. It's a blueprint for a healthy, sustainable, and high-performing workplace. When organizations get these hours right, they reduce accidents, burnout, absenteeism, and presenteeism. And they achieve 2 very important things, which is improving morale and productivity. In coming episodes, I'll break down more sections of the Labour Act and show you how to turn legal requirements into practical OH policies that actually work. And of course, if your organization needs help reviewing or redesigning your working hour policies, your fatigue risk controls, or your compliance with the Labour Act, I can support with OH guidance tailored to your sector. Don't forget to send in your questions and I'll address them as we continue this series. Take care and bye.